Hello students, welcome back for another class here. Our today's topic is all pass filters. Okay. Now before going into the circuit diagram for all pass filter, let me introduce what all pass filters are. So far we have seen uh, low pass filters, right? Then we have seen high pass filter. Then we have seen band pass filter. In low pass we have seen first order, second order. In high pass we have seen again first order, second order. And in band pass filter we have seen wide band filter and other one is narrow band filters. All the six we have seen, right? So this was having a frequency response like this, right? And this was having a frequency response like this. And this was having a frequency response like this. In all pass filter, it is different from all of this. All pass filter means a filter which will pass all the frequency, which passes all the frequency. See the name how it suggests. All pass filter means it allows all the frequency, everything from low frequency to high frequency, low frequency to high frequency. Now you may be thinking, if a filter passes everything, if everything is allowed, then why do we call it as filter? Why to call it as filter? The answer is, we don't use this all pass filter for actually filtering. We don't use it for filtering. We have certain applications. See here, we may be using our signals. Yeah, our signals are transmitted, right? Our signals are transmitted over transmission lines, or over a long distance. Over a long distance, the signals will be transmitting over transmission lines. Now the thing is, if this is your transmitting end, if this is your transmitting end, sending end, okay, this is your sending end. After traveling a long distance through this transmission line, your signal is having same amplitude. Your signal may be having same amplitude, but the phase angle might have changed. It might have become like this. So there is a phase angle difference, right? This phase angle, let me call it as phi. So the signal may go lagging or it may also come leading. I can also draw it like this. Right? It can also go lagging as well as leading. So we call this as an error in transmission. We call this as error in transmission. What is being transmitted is not being received in the same form. Maybe the amplitude is same. Amplitude means this height, this is same, but their phase difference has taken place. Phase difference has taken place from after traveling, the phase difference has taken place. Now to correct this phase angle, difference, to make it same as what we have in sending side, to have same as what we have sended at the sending side, to correct this we make use of all pass filter, where such signals which has lost, or in which there is a phase angle difference, will be corrected by such all pass filter. So the job of all pass filter is to correct the phase angle difference, So in all pass filter we can have a lag correction circuit and lead correction circuit. We also call it as lag compensating circuit and lead compensating circuit. So all pass filter, there is another name for this. All pass filters are also called as lag lead compensator, means they also compensate for lag and lead of the phase angle difference, okay. So let us see the circuit diagram for this. Okay, circuit diagram for this. Yes, all pass filters are also called as phase shifting circuits or phase correcting circuits. Phase shifting circuits or phase correcting circuits. Yes, I have written a definition here. So, an all pass filter circuit is a circuit that will pass all the frequencies without attenuation. Without attenuation means where the gain is full, means as it is, without loss in the gain. Without loss in the gain is nothing but attenuation, which is opposite of the gain. The opposite of the gain we call it as attenuation, without any loss in the gain. But with the phase shift that vary with the signal frequency, means there will be a phase shift in the output waveforms. It may be lagging or leading based on the correction required. This is your circuit diagram and the waveform frequency response. Yeah. So in this circuit you can see the input is applied to both inverting terminal as well as non-inverting terminal, R1 and R2, through R1 and R2. There is one capacitance C1 connected at the non-inverting terminal and there is a feedback resistance R2. This is how the response showing between the frequency and phase angle. Okay. Now we also call this as phase frequency response. Okay. Let us analyze its working. Now to analyze this circuit and to see its working, what we have to do is, see, as you can see, the input is applied to both the terminals, right? Now for our simplest analysis, what we can do is, consider one of the input, you separate these two inputs, that is inverting and non-inverting terminal, separate this, you ground one of the input and give input supply to only the other input and analyze the output. Then in second case, the one you grounded earlier, for that input you give supply, and the input which you gave earlier, for that you ground now. Okay, this is how you can analyze. So let me start it here. Okay. Case 1, in case 1, I can write with input separated, that is, let terminal, we have terminal 1 and 2 here. Okay, let terminal 2 be grounded, and if terminal 2 is grounded, terminal 1 is to be supplied with input voltage, and V in or V input is applied to the terminal 1. So how does it work? It means that terminal 2 is grounded, means input is only applied to terminal 1. This is simply grounded, means here it is grounded. This is the meaning of the analysis in this case 1. This is how the circuit is going to behave now. Now, if this is the circuit after modification for the case 1, how can we write our output V naught suffix? So 1 I am writing, 1 is representing for case 1, okay? 1 because our terminal 1 is supplied with input, so V naught 1. So how can we write output? Output of the circuit is, how the gain is feedback resistance by input resistance, isn't it? Because input is given to inverting terminal, we can write minus R2 by R1 into input, isn't it? Now see here, if I say that R1 is equal to R2, means feedback resistance equal to input resistance, then we can write what is that? We can write V input, V output is equal to 1 by 1, right? This becomes minus V into I, right? Your output becomes like this. So this is your equation 1. This is your equation 1. Similarly, in case 2, opposite of this, we will do opposite of this, where terminal 1 is grounded and terminal 2 is fed with input voltage, Vi. How the circuit is going to alter? The circuit will be this will be grounded, right? And V in is supplied to inverting terminal, isn't it? Now for this, what will be our output? We have to understand. What will be our output? We have to understand. Now, how do we write output here? That is output 2, because terminal 2 is provided with input, isn't it? How to write? Now this input is given to non-inverting terminal. How the gain is written for non-inverting terminal? How the gain is written? Yes. Think. How the gain is written for a non-inverting terminal? It is 1 plus, yes, feedback resistance by input resistance, isn't it? Feedback resistance by input resistance. See here, feedback resistance by input resistance. Now here, this is your output multiplied with the input. What is input here? Vi. But Vi is at this point. What is the input for the op amp? It is Vc1, right? At this node, the node at which it is entering your op amp is Vc1 is the voltage. So I will not write Vi here. I have to write Vc1. Vc1 is the voltage at the non-inverting terminal. Vc1 is the voltage at the non-inverting terminal. Now I will simplify this. Yes, if R1 equal to R2, what will be our V02? V02 will be equal to, yes, 1 plus 1 Vc1, isn't it? That is nothing but 2 times of Vc1, 2 times of Vc1, 2 times of Vc1. This is only at this condition, okay? This is also at this condition, right? Now therefore, how can we write Vc1? Vc1 is not your V1, right? We also require V1, that is Vc. How to write Vc? Vc1 can be written as, use your voltage divider formula. Vc1 is, the opposite voltage is Vi into its impedance C1, Xc1, whole divided by this plus this, R2 plus C1. How to write? Right? How to write? Vi is the opposite resistance. Then we have capacitance C1. This is how we write, right? We have been writing like this. Minus, R3. We have R3 here, right? Opposite No, this is R1, R2, yes. This should be R3, huh? If this is R2, this should be R3. Correct it. R3 minus J XC1 minus J XC1. Now you need to simplify this. Vi R3 minus J XC1. You take this minus J XC1 down. This comes here. Right? Further, if you simplify this, I guess this was not visible. Yeah, VC1 is written like this. Vi input voltage minus, this is because of capacitance C1. I have applied voltage divider rule at VC1. So minus JXC can be taken at the denominator like this, right? So this can be written as, so if I separate this R3 by minus JXC, yeah, this and this cancels each other, right? So this becomes 1 plus 1 minus R3 divided by yeah, minus J XC1. So this J I will take up, it becomes plus J, right? It becomes plus J R3 by XC1, R3 by XC1. Okay, so this is how it becomes. Now put this VC1 in your V02, and we also have, yeah, this is your equation 2, this is our equation 1, let this be your equation 3. Making use of all these equations 1, 2, 3, we write V0 equal to V01 minus V02. Output from case 1 minus output from case 2. Okay. So we write this as V0 equal to, if you simplify this, I will be writing directly. Okay. Minus 2 tan inverse of R3 by XC1. This is your angle. This is your angle. This is your angle. So this is your very important. This is your very important equation. This is your very important equation which tells that output voltage is directly proportional to input voltage. Output voltage is directly proportional to input voltage. But there is some change in the angle. This is what? If I simplify this, I can also write this as output equal to input at an angle phi. At an angle phi. So this tells that output is directly proportional to input, means there is no change in the magnitude. There is no change in the magnitude from input to output. From input to output, there is no change in its amplitude, height, magnitude, there is no change, but there is a change in angle. So this change in angle is utilized to correct your signal. To correct your signal, this change in the angle is utilized. This is how the all pass filters are applicable for the sake of correcting signals lag and lead when they travel a long distance for transmission. Okay, so let us end our class here. Okay, the simplification of this is not required. You can directly write this answer, okay, as it is. Yeah. Finally, let me write 2-3 steps for design. Okay. So our angle becomes minus 2 tan inverse of R3 by XC1. This is what the angle is. Important equation. Okay. So this occurs when XC1 is equal to, this XC1 is equal to R3. XC1 is equal to R3. Your phase angle is going to become 90 degree. Means the angle phase shift will become 90 degree if XC1 is equal to R3. It is at this point. it is at this point, sorry, this point, okay. Now at high signal frequencies, when Xe1 is very less compared to R3, your angle is approximately minus 180 degree. Angle is minus 180 degree. And at very low signal frequencies, if your signal frequency is very low, this is when Xe1 is very greater than R3, your angle will be 0 degree. Angle phase shift will be 0 degree. Okay. Now design, this part is important. Design, we find R1. What is R1? Yes, R1 will be applied input voltage by I1, right? Then we have, what is I1? 50 microamperes. 50 microamperes. How this becomes? This is nothing but 100 times of IB max, which is nothing but 100 into 500 nano, which will give you 50 micro. Then we have R1 equal to R2. We have assumed already this. With this condition only we get that. This is to give unity gain, that is 1. Then R3 should be equal to R1 parallel with R2. Okay, that is at Xe1 equal to R3, then R3 becomes equal to 2 pi f R3. So this ends your all pass filter. Okay. So your basic diagram is very important here. Fine. So when this topic comes, you need to define the purpose of all pass filter, circuit diagram, waveform, then case 1, equation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all you need to put up, then show this design. That's it. Okay. Thank you. So with this, your active filters part of your module, the half portion of your module ends. So this will end your active filters portion. So next class we will start with voltage regulators. Okay. Till then, thank you.